If you've been with us since July of last year, you may remember we reviewed this, the Oittm Smart Mosquito Killer with Amazon Alexa integration. If you don't, click up here to view that video. However, it got better. You see, Oittm reached out to us this week and said they had a newer, bigger, better, more deadly mosquito killer. So out with the old, and let's take a look at the new one. To say the new one looks sleeker would be an understatement. It looks quite nice. It's this square right here, you'll notice it's larger, which is how it can kill more things, and then its features down the side. For example, it has pure physical mosquito killing apparatus. It's super silent, has LED UV at 365 nanometer wavelength, wide house coverage, it's energy saving, and has no chemicals and no fumes. What does that mean? Let's open it up. When Oittm was kind enough to offer to send this to me, I said, yes, of course, because although the UK doesn't have an issue with mosquitoes, there are many countries in the world that does, especially as it's coming up to summer. Opening it up, you get a nice little booklet that has a troubleshooting guide, the structure, some sweet trips. Wait, what? This is model DH-MW08. It's the UK model and is in white, as you can tell. The unit itself is quite simple. It's just this square that you can attach to a wall, has some cable management, so that when you plug it in, you don't have to see the cables. There are some screws, so we could take this apart if we wanted to, and it turns on and off with this little handle here. The aforementioned booklet makes for hilarious reading. You see there's cleaning, which makes sense, usage, which also makes sense, contents, okay, specifications, not too shabby. However, we have the working theory, the precautions, the usage environment, and some sweet trips. Not sweet tips, no, sweet trips. Outside of some weird, what must be Google Translate translations, the instructions are quite simple. You plug it in and it works due to, and I quote, the electronic insect killer utilizes 365 nanometer UV wavelength, which is proven to be the most effective lure for light-sensitive flying insects such as flies, moths, mosquitoes, etc. In terms of first impressions, I will say the cable is not too long. This is plugged into an extension which we have the light plugged into. Oh, try not to ruin the camera. And it's just a short cable, which is fine if it's near a power outlet, but just be aware of that. However, the good news is it seems to work. If I pull it down, it lights up in its UV goodness, and we're all good to go. Oh my god, you can see me through it as well. Hello. As promised, the process of cleaning this out is a matter of pulling out the tray and discarding the dead mosquitoes. However, it is really hindered by that short cable. Is it bad that like the schoolboy part of me wants to take off the front protective plastic and touch the high voltage bit just to see how it feels? Now, the biggest design differences are the fact that it's so much larger and is completely surrounded with the UV light. The old one had a small UV light along the top and then a fan to trap any flying insects, whereas that one is just the UV light. Whether that's better or worse, we can't know without testing the devices first, so that will follow at some point. However, for right now, I really like the sleeker aesthetic. This was just so hard to put somewhere where it didn't stand out. It looks kind of like an Amazon Echo device, yet it's just so much wider. And the fact that the new one can be hung on the wall means you can put it somewhere, ideally, at least relatively out of the way. Maybe even in a bathroom of some sort. What is great though is that the lack of a fan means it's definitely quieter. If you want to check it out, there is a link in the description. Pricing is currently about £45. However, to make sure you have the most up-to-date pricing, do click that link in the description. Around there is also a discount code, so you can get it for even cheaper if you use our code. So go do that. And there it is. This is our first video that's been like an actual video in a very, very long time. So if you've liked this video, make sure to click like. If you didn't, don't worry, the podcast will be back on Sunday or whenever at some point, potentially. I've just been extremely busy. However, it'll be back soon. Don't forget to click here for the latest video, here for the video that YouTube thinks you'll like most, and click here-ish to subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. We recently hit 500 subscribers, which is crazy. It's actually awesome because I now know for sure that they're not all my mum. Like, they can't all be, can they?